All right, hello everybody. My name is Coach Abby, and I saw a question about kickball, and I wanted to make a quick video just to show the different ways that I play kickball. No matter what grade level, I always start off with the fundamentals, and I'm a visual learner, and I know many of us PE teachers are, so I wanted to walk you through some of that. So I'm going to use Photoshop here. So no matter, like I said, no matter what grade level I'm teaching, I'm always going to do the fundamentals, and the fundamentals for me is learning the space that we're going to be using. So we'll start with, the home base, first base, second base, third base. So I'll start all of my students off by just simply teaching them how to run the bases. So we'll call them out. So it's just like a warm up in the beginning of class where everybody will literally be running the bases. So I'll have them start at home. So I have my kids all lined up kind of like on a baseline and they're running. And as we're running, we're yelling first base, and then we'll run and we'll say second base, and then we'll run third base, home. And then all of my kids will eventually be all over the place. Well, not all over the place, but all over the bases, and we'll just run a couple times throughout the bases. So I know that they know the playing area that we're using. So that's the first thing that I do. The next step that I take when it comes to the children is teaching them then how to kick and run. So I am, until I get to my older grades, I'm pretty much the all-time pitcher. All right, so we've learned the bases. Let me get this to actually erase for me. Ugh. We've learned the bases, and now it's time for us to kick and run. Okay, so I make sure they know where everything is. I have some people demonstrate if we didn't have time to get this in class. But okay, so now it's time to go to the next thing. So I'll be here in the middle, and I'm going to roll the ball to the student. All right, and they are going to kick and run. And that's the only thing they're going to do, is they're going to just kick and run. And I'll have all the students in this line, the whole class, kick, run, kick, run, kick, run, kick, run. Okay, or if I want to split it up and say I have half the class on the outfield, and they are assisting with retrieving, the ball. So I have some kids out there, out in the outfield, just helping to retrieve the ball while my other student is kicking and running. So I have two teams now. We have the green team and this little turquoise team. And so the only job of the other student is to kick and to run the bases. So this person will run the bases, and after everybody on this team is gone, then I will switch them so the other team can have a chance. Okay, so we've gone from running the bases only to kicking and running the bases. Okay, this is all a part of my lesson. And now what we're going to do is I will have an object, like a hula hoop or something, in the middle of the playing field. So I'm around here and I have this. So now the team's objective is to kick the ball. They're going to run the bases. Now the outfield, their job is to collect the ball and put it inside here. So my outfielders, wherever the ball goes, they need to retrieve it and put it inside of here. So that signifies my other player that they need to stop. So that means the people who are running, once they have kicked the ball, sorry, let me fix my colors. Once they have kicked the ball and they start running, they stop once the green team has put the ball into the hula hoop. Okay, that means they need to stop. So this is teaching them how you don't just get to run forever. You run and then you stop. But I don't do outs, especially when it comes to younger people. When it gets older and I can add a little bit more competition, then I will. So like I said, we start with running the bases first, and then we start with kicking and running. And now we're implementing, hey, how do we stop? How do we, if we were talking about outs, how do we incorporate that so that students know that there is different limitations? So once again, this is a place where I will let every student on the team have their turn, and then I will rotate them out. Okay. After that, we can just, kind of make it fun. So they kick and they run, and once it gets here, they have to stop. All right. So at this point, you can kind of add and modify however you see fit for the age level that you're teaching. Maybe if it does get here and the student isn't on the base, then they are out. Maybe you start incorporating 3 and out, but just set it up so where students understand why things are happening, and they're not just playing to win and lose without knowing the why behind it. A couple of other variations that I can suggest is before you get into the competitive level of this is another game called multi-ball. So this is a situation to where you still can use an object in the middle just to take the kids' focus off of trying to like win and lose. So you can have your hula hoop or something right here in the middle, okay? And then the kids are going to kick a number of different items. You can use a soccer ball, you can use a football, you can have them throw a frisbee, and they are supposed to do all these things and still run the bases. And once everything is in the middle, then the teams rotate. But yeah, that's just a quick suggestion, especially if you're introing kickball, and depending on how many classes or weeks that you want to run into it, that is when you can start getting a little bit more competitive. And like I said, adding the three and out, or adding during COVID also, I had to modify everything so that the kids couldn't touch the ball. So I was literally in the middle and I was kicking the ball to them and having the kids kick it out. And also the kids in the outfield had to, it was almost like a combination of soccer skills that I had, soccer skills or kicking skills that I could incorporate them. So if this person had the ball, they needed to kick it to the next person, and then they needed to, with their foot, put it into the middle, because I didn't want them to use their hands at all. So just got creative with that, especially with COVID. I wanted to make sure that I could play a full-on game that they can enjoy for the entire class, but then also utilize those safety regulation measurements that we needed to do for COVID. So kickball's a wonderful game. Teach them the basics. Even you can make up, I know it's not traditional, but you can make up a couple different rules just to have the class and the student input. But yeah, so I just, it's not super quick video, but those are a couple modifications that I made for kickball. I'd love to answer some more questions. If you all have any, let me know, and I'll keep posting. Take care.